Welcome back to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to, well, staying informed. Today, we're really getting into something important: public sector transparency and governance frameworks.
Yeah, and our thinking here is shaped by insights from the book Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon. Our goal really is to unpack those formal structures, the ones that guide how public organizations operate. Specifically, how project managers, let's call her Sheila again, make sure info about project progress gets shared, shared in line with what the public expects and what the law demands.
Exactly. And it's really critical for you listening to grasp this isn't just about ticking boxes or technical delivery. It goes much deeper. It's about the administrative side, the legal duties that frankly underpin accountability. And public trust, of course, in government agencies. Think of it like the essential plumbing behind the walls. You don't always see it, but everything depends on it. Okay, right. Let's try and unpack that a bit more then. So imagine a public agency. It's subject to data access laws, freedom of information, that sort of thing. What's the absolute number one thing that supports a project manager's duty, Sheila's duty to share data transparently? Is it culture, technology?
That's a great question. Because, lots of things seem relevant, right? A culture of openness, good software, sure.
Hmm.
But what's fascinating and what the evidence points to is that the clearest, most sort of legally solid guide, that comes down to specific organizational governance frameworks.
Mm.
These aren't just like nice ideas or
Well,
suggestions. They are the actual rules of the road codified.
okay, organizational governance frameworks. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. So, what do these frameworks actually do for someone like Sheila on the ground managing a public project? How do they help her make sure she's being transparent, especially when, things get complicated?
Well, basically, these frameworks define the nuts and bolts. The precise structures, the policies, the actual step-by-step processes, they are the backbone. They ensure accountability, sure, but also transparency. And maybe most importantly, alignment with all the legal stuff.
Yeah.
So think about Sheila getting a request for, say, sensitive budget details. A good framework, it'll have clear rules.
Like data classification.
Exactly. Data classification policy saying this is public, this needs redaction, maybe for privacy. You'll probably mandate audit trails too, so you know who accessed what when. And it details the protocols for public disclosure formats, timing for updates on portals, how to handle specific FOIA requests. It takes the guesswork out of it for Sheila.
Right. It removes that ambiguity. It gives her a clear path. So it's really not about getting swayed by political winds like what different parties think about data access this week. That doesn't define her obligations locally, and definitely not looking over your shoulder at what colleagues in, I don't know, a neighboring country are doing. Their rules don't apply to you. And maybe crucially, your own personal feeling about whether data should be public. Kind of irrelevant when you're facing legal duties. Ignore those duties, and you're in hot water, legally and ethically. It really does highlight how these frameworks act as the ultimate guide rail, doesn't it?
It really does. And, this brings up a key point. Making sure Sheila's project management isn't just sort of efficient in a vacuum. It has to be fundamentally compliant with the law and accountable to the public. That's the core idea. Well, good tech helps, and an open culture is great. The central argument is without these formal, legally grounded organizational governance frameworks, well, those other things can easily fall apart, especially under pressure or when leadership changes.
Mm.
The frameworks provide that stable, non-negotiable structure. They ensure transparency isn't just a choice, it's built into the system. Follow these frameworks diligently. That's how you meet your professional duty. It's how you protect the integrity of your agency's mission.
Okay, so the big takeaway here for you, the listener, it's really understanding the indispensable role, almost like a constitution for the project of these organizational governance frameworks. They're essential for navigating the, let's face it, pretty complex world of public sector transparency. They're your guide, your rule book, and honestly, your protection.
And maybe one final thought to leave you with, getting to grips with these frameworks. It's not just about dodging trouble. It's not just risk management. It's actually about proactively building and crucially maintaining public trust. Especially now, in this age of constant information, constant scrutiny, it's about being a genuine steward of that public trust.
Absolutely well said. And for a much deeper dive into all these critical aspects of project management in this context, you really should check out Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone. It's a fantastic resource.